cow. Holy cow. If you would have told me that the Red Wings and the Lions today went 2-0, I'd have called you crazy. Oh my gosh. I'm in shock. And a little peek behind the curtain with the Lions beating the Packers, I have watched every single creator on TikTok, Instagram Reels, Twitter. I even looked them up on Facebook, and I'm watching them cry, and I'm loving every second of it. I'm drinking their tears. And then the Red Wings in the nighttime with Nedeljkovic being cold down 2-0 in New York and winning that game. Does it get better than this, people? I don't think so. Let's get into the show. Wow. What a day. Well, I'm so jazzed. It's unbelievable. I'm so jazzed. This is awesome. All right. I gotta get my mind. The Red Wings just beat the Rangers. They just beat them, and so I gotta get my mind right. Okay. Let's start off with the Lions. All right. Lions beat the Packers. I did a shoey. What a day. What a day for them. And here are two people that I don't like when it comes to the Lions fans. Let's start off negative and let's go to the positives. Here are the two fans that I do not like. One, the losers who sit around and go, oh, but now we go from the first pick to the fifth pick. We shouldn't have beat the Packers. You shouldn't be. You're a loser. Second person, any moron who tweeted at me this year, if you've ever tweeted at me this year and said we should keep Jared Goff, you're a loser, and I don't like you either. But, all right, so now that we got the negatives out of the way, let's talk about the positives. The Lions beat the Packers. You are going on every single social media, and you're listening and watching all of these Packer fans who have been blessed for the last 40 years with two of the greatest generational quarterbacks in our time, and they are crying about how he stinks. They had Brett Favre, and they cried about it. Now they have Aaron Rodgers, and they're crying about it. And guess what, buddy? It doesn't get better, because for the next 3 years, you're going to be paying them $900 million, and you're not going to be able to invest in your team. You bozos. And I hope you're happy. You idiots. All you've done is complain. All these Packer fans have done for years and years is complain about Aaron Rodgers. Oh, Aaron Rodgers isn't good enough. And you've made it to NFC Championship game after NFC Championship game. You've been terrorizing the NFC North. And now it's time. It's time to back your mans. And where are you at, Packer fans? Nowhere. You should be disgraced. And by the way, your backup, Jordan Love, he's not good. You don't have no idea how good he is. You have no idea what that world is. But let me tell you something. There's a lot of bad quarterbacks in the NFL. I know Jordan Love has all of that stink on him. I'm so happy Packer fans they just suck. They just suck. The Packers suck. I love it. I'm just drinking all of their damn tears. I've been bullied by them. I get made fun of them for years and years. And to watch them lose is great. I'll sacrifice 18 picks to watch them lose. I love it. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that first bucket of people that I don't like. The people who are like, oh, well, now we go from the first to the fifth pick. Oh, now we're going to play ourselves out of getting Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, whoever the better one, and we're going to have Will Levis. Let's not freak out just yet, okay? Because a couple things here. I truly don't think the Lions are going to win another game. I don't. I really don't. I don't see where they can win another game. And the second thing, I just think that the Texans and the Carolina Panthers, who you have to worry about taking the top two, Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, are in divisions that they can win games and screw this up so that we can get a good pick. All right? I will take the win now, and I will talk to you in April to see where our draft pick is. I'm not worried about that. And also, you cannot tell me that the Lions, with the Rams pick, who, by the way, are stumbling and bumbling and lost today against Tampa Bay, You can't tell me that Brad Holmes can't package those 2 picks and go get his man, CJ Stroud or Bryce Young, whoever he likes. You can't tell me that that's not a possibility. You take the win now, and you just love every single second of it, and then you worry about that later. All right? Jared Goff clearly isn't the guy. I think an average quarterback, I'm watching Taylor Heineke today. I think Taylor Heineke wins this game by 15 touchdowns. I really do. Move on. The second big positive thing that I want to talk about is, okay, so we fired the defensive backs coach, Pleasant, right? Then you look at our defense, and you look at what was working today. Hutchinson, Rodrigo, every single week you look so good, Rodrigo. Okuda's looking great. Kirby Joseph. What do those 4 guys have in common? Very young and a very good cornerstone to that next step in our future. I love it. Are we weak on the defensive side? Yes, I've said it week after week after week that we have the worst defensive roster in the NFL. But when you cut Jared Goff, because that you have a potential out after this year, and then you move that money to the defensive side of the ball, a lot of things can happen. A lot of good things can happen. And for all you idiots who want to fire AG, you're an idiot. Don't fire AG. You keep AG. You keep Ben Johnson, and you keep Dan Campbell for one more year. I love Ben Johnson. I love AG. Dan Campbell sometimes is the worst, sometimes is the best. But look, next year when we're looking at our team, when we take that $20 to $25 million that Jared Goff is owed and invest that into the defense, and then you get a rookie contract, a lot of things can change, and a lot of positives can come from that. I'm very excited for next year. Already. I'm already looking towards the future. This season's over. It ended when we lost to Seattle. But beating the Packers is great, and I'm very excited for the Lions. I am. From what I'm seeing, there's a lot of positives, especially when you can beat the Packers, and especially when you can bury the Packers, because you know Packer fans are going to bed at night thinking to themselves, oh crap, what have we done? And I love it. I just think it's embarrassing that Packer fans are throwing Aaron Rodgers away. I think if I was a Packers fan and I've had this guy sacrifice so many great years, shoot, I already know it. I was rooting for Matt Stafford in the Super Bowl. I think that if these guys are sacrificing years and years of their life for your entertainment, and you just turn your back on them right when it gets hard, I would look inward on that. That is really messed up. I feel bad for Aaron. I really do. But, God, it was so fun to beat him. All right, but let's talk about the next team. Let's talk about the wings. Look, no Zadina, no Bertuzzi, no Fabry, no Verana. Nedeljkovic looks terrible until tonight, and they get the win. The Rangers this year, when scoring the first goal, have not lost. They not only scored the first goal, they scored the second goal. We're down 2-0 going into the second period. And there's a part of me that thinks last year's Red Wings would fold under that, But guess what? They got back up. A young team that's beaten up, bruised already, and we win in Madison Square Garden? What? Are you kidding me? That's as good as it gets. That's all you can ask for. What was it? After the New Jersey game, what day was that? I'm looking at this calendar. On October 26th, after we lose 6-2 against New Jersey, we had Boston, go to Boston, Minnesota, go to Buffalo, get Washington, you get the Islanders, and you get the Rangers, right? That was our last 6 games. And I sat here on the podcast that if they were a 2-2-2 team by this moment, that I would be fully bought in and they could be a playoff team. People, they went 4-2. Boom. I mean, that's huge. Oh, on Pierce, that's only 2 points. No, that's huge for the confidence of this team. We're missing first liners, second liners, and we're still winning games on the road against playoff teams. That's huge. If the season ended right now, I get it. It's really early. We're a playoff team and a strong and tough playoff team. That's all. Like, I think it gets misconstrued about what Detroit fans are looking for. We're just looking for a little bit of hope because I'm grasping for straws here. Shoot, I'm talking about how Bryce Young can make us a playoff team. I'm grasping for straws right now. I would kill. I'm so in love with this Red Wings team. It's unbelievable. I'm just so glad I have something to freaking root for finally. This team's young, dumb, and they just want to win. Who doesn't love that? I'm going to watch every freaking game because they fight like hell. I love this team. I love this Red Wings team. Holy cow. This is so much positive vibes. Look, there's so many positive vibes that I might just skip the Pistons. I don't even want to talk. Like, I legitimately don't even want to bring myself down. Pistons, all right, this is what I'm going to do. Pistons lose to the Bucks, and Cavs. There you go. It's clear that we're not a playoff team and we're tanking for Wemby. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about the Pistons. I've got too many positive vibes. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling myself. I'm making my favorite dinner after this. Chicken tortellini bake. I'm not even going to talk about the Pistons. That's how good I'm feeling. I love where I'm at right now. I love it. Whew. I cannot believe that we went 2-0 today. Unreal. Whew. All right, let's do it. Let's go into European Minute. This is gonna be fun for everybody but me, I think. I'll be honest with you. All right, are you ready? In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Chelsea loses to Arsenal. Whatever. It's World Cup season. Who cares? Like, everybody's caring. People will only care about the World Cup anyway. The problem that I have is that Arsenal fans are now running around being like, "Oh, London's red. Arsenal's the team of London." We have 2 Champions League titles. You guys have been nothing for the last 10 years. Pipe it down. It's still a long season. World Cup preview starts. World Cup starts in 2 weeks. I'm gonna do it outside of European Minute because I think it's such a big deal and I love the World Cup so much. But I am going to give you a quick little preview on the United States. Our manager sucks. I think we get out of the group, and I think we lose to the Dutch. But we have a winnable game against the Dutch, quite honestly. I think we can beat the Dutch if we can keep – I think we have the talent to beat the Dutch. F1 is in Brazil. Yawn, who cares? It'll be a sprint race, whatever. Like, we're kind of moving on to next year already. MLS Cup. What an absolute gem of an MLS Cup final that literally nobody saw because of how bad timing and how bad marketing they did. Congrats, LAFC. And that's been your European Minute. Arsenal, come on, man. Come on. You get one good season, all of a sudden, London's red. Get out of here. We've had a good half season, not even a full season. I digress. I went a little over a European Minute. All right, let's talk about the NFL. I'm officially worried about Justin Fields. I saw what he did to Miami. I'm officially worried about Justin Fields. I'll be honest with you. I talked about this a little bit. I tweeted about this. I think Taylor Heineke, what he did to the Vikings today. I think that if he was on the Lions, I had the Pistons in my head and I couldn't get him out. I think if Taylor Heineke was on the Lions, I genuinely think that'd be a 4-win team. He's electric. He's awesome. Rams and Bucks play. Great rematch from last year. They both stink. They're both really bad. Tom Brady really should have retired last year. Chargers on paper, like, I got a lot of, Joe Lombardi's their offensive coordinator. That's why they suck. But I feel like even a dumb person could make the Chargers great. I have no idea how it doesn't work. I have no idea how the Chargers just don't work. Like, on paper, I'm looking at it, I'm like, Austin Eckler, great. Mike Williams, great. Keenan Allen, great. Gerald Everett, great. Justin Herbert, great. How does this not work? I have no idea how it doesn't work. Shout out to you if you're listening and you have Joe Mixon. Because that was huge. I mean, that's just I don't know how you lose and have Joe Mixon. But here's a stat that was written, that was sent to me by Eric, who's a new blogger on DetroitPierce.com. So make sure you go to DetroitPierce.com. And he wrote about the XFL. He's going to be writing some more long form stuff later. He's an awesome writer. He's way funnier than I am, quite honestly. Anyway, if you think being a Lions fan is bad, listen to this stat that Eric just sent me. From 1960 till 2021, the Raiders have blown 5 17-point leads. This year, 3 of them. That's mind-boggling. And like that first half that they had against the Jags, it's like, you finally figured out your offense. Throw it to Devontae Adams. Nope. Won't do it. And by the way, here in quick thing, I think I kind of touched on it a little earlier, But, like, we have the 5th pick now, and here's your competition for the 1st pick. Houston, who's literally in one of the worst divisions. The Colts look terrible. Carolina, who's easily in the 2nd worst division with the Bucks, Falcons, and, I mean, like, these guys are all tripping over each other. Like, the Saints, really? You think they could beat the Saints? Raiders, even if they get the 1st pick, they're not going to pick a quarterback. Derek Carr's got a long-term contract. Pittsburgh, they have Kenny Pickett. They're not going to give up on Kenny Pickett after year 1. They have, whatever. And then Jacksonville, who obviously has Trevor Lawrence. And then Chicago, who obviously has Justin Fields. And then Green Bay, who obviously has, you said it, Jordan Love. And then Tampa Bay, who obviously has, you said it, Kyle Trask. Okay, so I'm not really worried about that as well. I just want to throw that in at the end. All right, college football. What a week. What an absolute great week. Bama loses. Tennessee loses after they saw me. By the way, Tennessee fans, I called them dumb on YouTube in a podcast after the vlog. They did not like that. They really didn't like that. But you proved my point, Tennessee fans. You leaked the number of Stetson Bennett, and you didn't think that he was just going to go ham on you? Like, what were you thinking? You haven't won the national championship yet. Calm down. What are we doing? I love Tennessee. I'm a big Tennessee guy now. But, like, hey, easy, man. Easy. Ohio State struggled, and Clemson loses. All right, here's my top 6 in college football, and let me know what yours is. Number 1, Georgia. Number 2 might surprise you. Michigan struggled through the first 3 quarters against Rutgers, turn it on in the 4th quarter against Rutgers, and they play Nebraska, which I will be at this weekend. 3, I got Ohio State, struggling against Northwestern, not impressive. Number 4, tell me a better team since week 1 than Oregon. Not many other teams. They have dominated since week 1. I got Oregon at 4. Number 5, TCU. They've played like 3 starting quarterbacks all year long. Pump the brakes. At Texas and at Baylor, I don't know about that. And then number 6, I got Tennessee. They lost to Georgia at Georgia. You watch. They're going to win out, and they're going to be knocking on the door saying, we're better than Oregon, and I don't think they have the case anymore. Just saying. Let me just say this real quick about college football as well. This is the most parity I think we've had since the year, I think it was like 2007, where every single week a number 1 would lose. I think that this is the one year that I would actually enjoy a 12-team playoff. It's coming soon, but like I think where legitimately you could make a bracket and it would be busted because you could make the case that, hey, USC could win the national championship. Like Clemson, if they would put things together, could beat TCU at TCU. There could be a lot of different variables this year that would really be interesting. I mean, could you imagine USC going to Michigan? That would be a ton of fun. I don't know who I think Michigan would be like a 4-point favorite at home, but scary. I love it. I love that there's a lot more parity, and it's starting to become clear because Georgia looks weak at times. Michigan looks weak at times. Ohio State looks weak at times. I keep waiting for Ohio State to just take over, but they won't. Oregon looked weak against Georgia week 1, but they've looked great since then. I wouldn't want to go up to the Audison Zoo. I wouldn't want to do that. TCU has flaws. I don't know. I just think this year is finally we got some parity, and it sucks that it's like 2 years before we get that 12-team playoff. And then finally, I'm going to be in Michigan this week. I know I touched on it. I'm going to be in Michigan this week, rooting on my Huskers. We're 29-point dogs. Woof, woof, woof. 29-point dogs, but I like my Huskers this week to just cover. I just want them to cover. I'm excited to see the Big House. That'll be actually be my first time going to the Big House, and I'm excited for that. All right, World Series. I'm just going to touch on it. Astros. I love the Astros. I keep saying this every single week. I love the Astros. I wish they did not cheat. If they just didn't cheat, this would be so much more fun. But it's kind of like, great. I guess I can hang my hat on Dusty Baker winning the World Series. I guess that's what I'm hanging my hat on. Justin Verlander wins again. I love that. I love that Justin Verlander and Dusty Baker win another World Series. But it just sucks because now I got to watch Bregman and Altuve, who clearly cheated a lot. They now get to win one. And they never got really punished, it felt like. Just, all right, congrats, you win. I don't know. It just stinks. But it rocks at the same time because Justin Verlander winning is always fun for me. I'm tired of all this. hate that Verlander gets. I'm so happy for him that he wins. I'm glad. It's 2 rings, by the way, haters. He's got 2 of them. All right. And then today, Monday, college basketball is back. I'm going to have a blog on all of my future bets that I have. I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek right now. Here's a stat. Every single year for the last 6 or 7 years, a team in the Ken Pom top 5 at the preseason has won the national championship. Just saying. Just a little preview for the blog. I'm just saying. You know what? I'll tell you who I have in the future for the college college basketball. All right, 2 teams I'm betting on: Gonzaga and Virginia. And I'll explain the blog. Go to DetroitPierce.com and click on the blog. All right. Final thoughts. This final thoughts is going to hurt. I'm going to be honest with you. This is not going to be fun for me. But I think I have to retire the shoey. I did it today for the Packers. I honestly didn't think it through. But 2 things. 1, for the first time, I finally can feel it in my stomach. I'll be honest with you. And I could taste it. Other times I haven't been able to taste it. And other times I haven't been able to, been fine. And the second thing is Mrs. Detroit Pierce hates it. Hates it. She hates filming it. She hates the mess. She hates the fact that I ruin a shoe. She hates it. So this is probably the 3rd time I've retired the shoey, so I don't know if you should take this seriously, but I think I have to retire the shoey. I don't know. It depends. If it's like the Super Bowl, I might do it. I might do it for another regular season game. My dad had a good joke. He was like, thank God you're not a Kansas City Chiefs fan and doing shoeys, because then you might die from all the bacteria. But, you're a Lions fan. You might be fine. All right. Thank you so much. We went 2-0 today. That's great. I love it. I love that we went 2-0. It's amazing. Appreciate you. God bless. Go Detroit Sports, and let's do this again next week.